My name is Mosjaro. Again, we're having a question that I want us to analyze. You know what we usually do is in all my videos, I try as much as possible to get to analyze the question, not just looking at the question, but knowing why the answer is like that. So the videos are usually very short. I don't like wasting time at all. But you have to grab the major points. Now, the mistake that students make is that when they see a question or when you're preparing for an exam, for instance, after knowing the answer, you skip to the next question. No, you have to analyze the question, looking at other options and try to ask yourself what's the meaning of other options and try to understand the question properly. So more not waste time, baby grammar, more could go straight to the point. They said the immediate product of meiosis. No way I like to do. I like to underline each terms that are used in the question. Now they made mention of meiosis there. Now you ask yourself, what is meiosis? So more could they break it down? Make I start to bring out the points step by step. Now, what is meiosis? Meiosis is a type of cell division. Now cell division is a process, or rather are processes that brings about what that brings about growth. Now there are two types of cell division process. We have one that is known as what, as mitosis, and we have another one that is known as what, as meiosis. Now ladies and gentlemen, this mitosis brings about the formation of diploid cells. Now you begin to ask yourself, say, Musjaru, alpha, what are diploid cells? Please, diploid cells are cells that contain same amount of chromosomes as in the what, as in the parent cell. Same amount of chromosomes. So if they ask us now, we'll take on to human beings and they'll say, what's the diploid number of chromosomes in humans? Now the diploid number is what, is 46. That means if a cell in our body undergoes mitosis, the number of chromosomes there in the new cells, which we call daughter cell, will also be what, 46. Because why? Mitosis brings about the formation of a diploid cell. Now another thing you must put at the back of your mind again is that each mitotic division brings about the formation of what, of two daughter cells. Now using daughter cells here, just put at the back of your mind, simply put, that daughter cells are new cells that are formed. So more they go back again. Now what's bringing us to this aspect? Because they made mention of meiosis here. I dey like break my things down step by step, twele twele, so that you go dey follow am, time not dey. Now I went ahead to say that this meiosis wey you dey see here, so it's a type of what, cell division process. Now you will ask yourself, wetin be cell division? This cell division are processes that brings about what, growth. And we can talk say there are two types of cell division process. And wetin be the two types? Mitosis and what, and meiosis. Shey you dey get am? Now we don't throw small light, we have brought a small point on mitosis. What type of cell produce diploid cell. We have said what are diploid cells, and we have said the number of cells that are formed from mitosis. Show you they get. But one last thing I want to talk about mitosis is that this mitosis now brings about, or rather occurs in what, in somatic cells. This one is very very important. Now what are somatic cells? Somatic cells are what, are non-gamete producing cells. Now there this question they come, gamete producing cells. Now if you hear the word gamete, what you go enter your mind? Gametes are matured sex cell. They are called what, gamete. For example, talking about in humans now, we have the sperm are gametes. The ova, which is the egg cells, they are gametes. So those processes that brings about the formation of gametes, those processes are what are regarding as what, meiosis. Sure you dey get now. Now we don't change them now. So mitosis does not bring about the formation of gametes, but meiosis brings about the formation of what, gametes. So more can take what is the difference between meiosis and what, and mitosis? Now first off, meiosis brings about the formation of haploid cells. So if you want to know the difference between meiosis and mitosis, you must be very careful. Say, okay, mitosis they form diploid cell, meiosis they form what, haploid cells. Now if you hear the word haploid cell, what will come to your mind? Haploid cells are cells that contains half amount of chromosomes as in the what, parent cell. Not saying with the nakam they go small time, not deep. Now you can ask yourself, say, how many daughter cells are formed from a single meiotic division, that is after meiosis? How many daughter cells are formed? Now meiosis produces what, a total of four daughter cells. And meiosis, because they produce gametes, it occurs in germline cells. So I don't dey break down the information small. That's why you take your time to go through the video step by step. Now you begin to ask yourself, I don't digress from the question. No, I never digress. I dey try to analyze them. Now of course there's a group. If you know you are writing post UTME, there's a group that I brought out, a WhatsApp group that I get to analyze questions like these in the group. almost every day. Now if you want to join the group, it's just 1,000 naira. Just send me a DM, so I will add you to the group. 1,000 naira for a full month. Down too small now. So now make sure they learn, they follow up step by step, back to back. Now of course you can also come across videos like this in my YouTube channel. My name obviously is what is Mosjaru. Now let's come back to our question. Time no day. The immediate product of meiosis. Now we don't know what it mean meiosis. Now in flowering plants, more underline now. Please, flowering plants are regarded as what now? As angiosperms. You suppose don't hear gymnosperm. For gymnosperms are plants that produces what? Naked seeds. Now look at it. They said the major immediate products from meiosis in flowering plant is the dash. They said sporophytes, they said gametophytes, they said zygote, and they said what? Pollen grains. We will not waste much time. The answer there is what? Is pollen grains. Pollen grain is a garment, and of course it's formed from what? Meiosis. In short, let me break it down. The pollen grain is regarded as the what? As the male gametes in flowering plants. Shey you dey get am now. Now I will not leave this question alone. I go hold am for trouser, because why? I wan analyze this question back to back. Now look at it. Look at sporophyte, look at gametophyte. Now these two words, you will come across it when you hear this thing known as what? Alternation of what? Of generation, usually occurring in plants. Alternation of what? Of generation. Now what does it mean? This is when one stage of plants supersedes another. That means there are two stages in the development of plants. Now this alternation of generation usually occurs in what? In plants. Not only in flowering plants. For example, in bryophytes, in pteridophytes, they undergo alternation of what? Generation. And there are two stages in alternation of generation. We have what called the sporophyte stage and the what? The gametophyte stage. Now this sporophyte stage is what produces the diploid spores, while the gametophyte stage produces the haploid what? Gametes. Sure you dey get am now. But when it comes to flowering plants, the dominant phase is the what? The sporophyte stage, which is the what? The trees, for instance now. While the gametophyte stage is the part that produces the gametes, such as what? The pollen grains and the ovule. Now when you hear ovule is the female gamete in what? In plants. Shey you dey get am now. The ovule is the female gamete in plant, but the male gamete in plant is the pollen grains. And these two are formed from what? From meiotic what? Division. So ladies and gentlemen, we have been able to know the answer to this particular question. First of all, what's zygote? Zygote is a diploid cell. How is it formed? When two gametes fuse together, it forms what? Zygote. So a fertilized egg or a fertilized ovule forms what? A what? A zygote. So zygote is a diploid what? A diploid cell. So we have taken our time to look at all the options, and we have seen our what? Our answer. Please, if you know you want to see videos like this more and more, or continue to this channel, and of course follow me on what? Or subscribe to my YouTube channel. My name there is what? Mosjaru. Please, if you are writing post to me, do well to send me a what? A message, so that I add you to what? To our special what? Special group. So these are more questions, you come across it in this channel. So I'll see you in my next video. Ciao.